Should I start this business at this time, or is it too much of a risk? Should I accept fertility treatment or just let my body do its thing? Or not? Should I take that high-profile management job even though I know it's going to be challenging for me since I'm an introvert and I prefer to work alone? Should my child go to public or private school, and what can we afford? Should I let this person back into my life after what they did? Should I go to grad school? Should I keep going? Let's talk about decisions. They are so hard sometimes, aren't they? Decisions can be draining and overwhelming, yet they are crucial to how we navigate and experience life. So how do we approach them? How do we sort through them and make them with confidence? This is what we're going to talk about in this episode. Let's get into it.
You're listening to the Driven Introvert podcast, the place to be for dreamers, doers, and entrepreneurs who are ready to birth the dreams, callings, and ideas the Lord has placed in their hearts. Do you sense that God is calling you to step out and do something new, but you're held back by fear and uncertainty? Do you struggle with believing that you can do great things because of your quiet, reserved, and introverted nature? Welcome here. I'm Remy Roy, your host and founder of shepact.com. I'm an author, an entrepreneur, a creative, and a committed trier. I'm here to help you get unstuck and make progress on your God idea. Let's go.
Hi, friends. Over the past few episodes, I've been sharing quotes and excerpts and insights from some of my favorite books. But at this time in the year, I want to lean into one particular book. And it is called The Next Right Thing by Emily P. Freeman. I love this book because it addresses one of the most important challenges we face daily, and that is making decisions. You can't escape decisions. Whether you think about it consciously or not, you're making them constantly. What to eat, what to wear, what to say, who to call, it's endless. But the ones we're going to talk about in this series are the big ones. The kind that feel heavy, urgent, or even life-altering. The ones that can throw your mind and emotions into a fight or flight mode. Sometimes you just want to run, like just run away. Or maybe bury your head in the sand and pretend it's not happening. Or maybe you're the kind of person who just bulldozes through decisions just to get it over with. I've been in all these places. But somewhere in the middle of panic and impulse is a better, more grounded approach to decision making. And that is what this series is all about. So over the next couple of episodes, we're going to dive deep into this book, The Next Right Thing, and talk about decisions and why they are so crucial to how we experience and navigate life. Now, in this book, Emily Freeman talks about going beyond the traditional pro and con list. You know that list. You've probably done it before. You take a sheet of paper, you draw a line down the middle. On the right side, you write out all the bad stuff or all the cons of making that decision. And on the left side, you write down all the good. And you try to make sense of this decision. It works. Until it doesn't. Because the most important decisions in life sometimes require more than logic. They require discernment, patience. They require you to be still, to have courage, and sometimes you just surrender. This book is not just a guide. For me, it's like a friend to anyone standing at a crossroad. So over the next few episodes, we're going to explore her insights and tie them into our real messy lives. I'm doing this series now because I am absolutely living it. I'm in the middle of making several back-to-back decisions. And one of the biggest, I'm starting a tech startup. I'm starting a company, and it's a technology startup, and I'm way in over my head. If you know me, you're probably thinking, here she goes again. Yes, I'm an idea person. I start things. But this decision was really different. It wasn't impulsive. It was layered. It was layered with fear, with lots of prayer, excitement, and even pressure. It crushed me and also lifted me all at once. Two things can actually be true. I was terrified of the risk. And at the same time, I was filled with joy and peace that this was the right step for me. So when I say I understand the weight of decisions, I truly do. Maybe you're in that place right now. Maybe it's a job change, a relationship decision, whether to have a child, adopt a child, whether to go back to work, go back to school, whether to leave something stable for something unknown. Big decisions shake us, and we need wisdom, not just answers, because we need to go deep. So what's the next right thing? That's the heart of this episode and this series. Emily Freeman writes, and I quote, "When it comes to making decisions, chances are you've heard the advice this book is built upon before. The phrase isn't new or particularly creative. It's advice I've taken, forgotten, and remembered again. But it's held me up through young motherhood, through grief, indecision, vocational bottoms, and spiritual confusion. A version of this advice has been famously quoted by Mother Teresa, Reverend Martin Luther King, Theodore Roosevelt, and Anne Lamott. It's become a common catchphrase for coaches and athletes in boardrooms and corporate motivational speeches. So what is this advice? It is simply, do the next right thing. End quote. What does that even mean? See, it doesn't mean you'll have full clarity. Most of the time, we don't. It doesn't mean the fears disappear. Most of the time, they don't. But it does mean you take one small, faithful step in the direction of what you know is right. Even if it's hard, even if it's quiet, even if it's just the next thing and not the big thing. It frees us from the light that we have to have it all figured out, from the anxiety of choosing the perfect path for us. So, whatever you're facing right now, I want you to take a deep breath, pray, and ask, what is the next right thing I can do? Not 10 steps ahead, just one. This is just the beginning of our decision-making series. In the first chapter of the book, Emily leaves us with a practice, which is to pay attention. She says, and I quote, "A practice, pay attention. What is something you're thinking about pursuing, starting, quitting, making, finishing, or embracing? If you don't see the clear path, the end game, or the 5-year plan, take heart. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Get still. Stop talking. Pause the constant questioning of everyone else's opinion. Now hold that thing, whatever it is, in your mind. Pay attention to your body and your soul. Does it rise or does it fall?" End quote. I would love to hear from you. If you have a story of a big decision you made or didn't make, I'd love to hear it. Maybe you're in the middle of one right now. Send me an email at thedrivenintrovert@shepact.com. Maybe I'll share your story or even have you on the podcast, because we need to talk more about how we make choices and how we live with them. Remember, the life you want is built one decision at a time. And like God told Joshua in Joshua 1:7, he says, "Be strong and very courageous." That's what I'm holding on to in this season of my life. You're going to need courage, but you're not alone. Thank you so much for listening to this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy this conversation, please take a moment to follow or subscribe to the podcast. I'd also love your feedback on this episode. You can scroll down on your app and click write a review. I'd love to read your takeaways from this conversation. As always, don't forget to take courage, trust God, and go pursue your big ideas. See you next time. The Driven Introvert is produced by shepact.com and Remy Roy. Click on the link in the show notes to record your question in a voicemail.